It is Tuesday, March 22nd of 2022. And yeah, it's not the usual day I record, but there's a really good reason why. And we'll talk about that today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Guy's Daily Drive on a Tuesday. Guy doesn't record on a Tuesday, he records on a Monday. Has the world gone insane? Maybe. It might have, but it's got nothing to do with why I'm recording on a Tuesday. Basically, on Friday, I had a weird Friday because I drove out to Micro Center to get some stuff that I wanted. And ended up, of course, buying a microphone, which is not what this is about today. I'm not going to talk about buying a new microphone at Micro Center today. But later that evening, I think it was maybe that was Thursday. Well, whatever day it was, I recorded, and that was Thursday, I recorded a little snippet on Mac to the Future. And for those who've been around for a while, I know David, who's watching, remembers that we were doing this live show on Wednesday nights called Mac to the Future Go. And it was Warren Sklar, David Ginsburg, and myself. And just for fun, because I hadn't done it in a while, and I wanted to try out a different new microphone that I had bought, I did like a little 6.5-inch snippet with the Mac to the Future beginning and Mac to the Future ending. And on it, while I was recording it, I mentioned that it kind of felt like I was coming down with something. And sure enough, I did. I went to work on Friday, and I was not feeling well for most of the day, but I got through the day and got home, and everything I just kind of fell apart when I got home. I was like, I just feel miserable. And I didn't want Tracy to get sick, and we're fortunate enough to live in a house where there's other bedrooms, much separated, that I could sleep in. And we had just kind of cleared out a lot of the stuff in the guest bedroom downstairs because neither of the other two bedrooms that the boys slept in growing up are currently configured for really anybody to sleep in. So Friday night I slept downstairs. And when I got up on Saturday, I was in full-blown head cold. The sinuses were draining into my chest, and I was coughing and hacking. I had a headache and aches. The only thing I did not get for the entire time was a fever. I never had a fever for the entire time this head cold was going on. But other than that, I was pretty miserable. I contacted Gaz and told him I wasn't well enough to do a podcast. We were going to have to do it on Sunday anyway, because it was him and his lovely wife's anniversary. So they were going out on Saturday and doing stuff. And I told him I'm just in no shape to podcast at all. So we didn't podcast on Sunday. And I didn't, I wasn't really eating that much, drank a lot. And there's this stuff that was given to my wife, and it's made by this company. I don't even really know, I can't remember what the name of the company is. I did look it up because we're going to have to get some more of it pretty soon. And it's this weird product. It looks kind of like orange marmalade, but it's not. It's got more rinds in it, I guess, than orange marmalade. It's basically, it's like orange, complete like orange pieces, except ground up, and honey, and a few other ingredients, but you know, I mean, nothing that's unnatural. And what you do is you put some in a cup, and then you put it in really, really hot water, and then you stir it up, and it's kind of like a tea, but it's not. It's a weird kind of thing, but it's so delicious. It's orangey, and it's got the sweetness that you can taste the sweetness of the honey in it. And I was like, oh, this is like the best thing ever. And I must have drank like 12 to 15 cups of this stuff over the weekend, while I basically just sat like a slug downstairs, because I was good for absolutely nothing this weekend. I sat like a slug on a rug almost the entire weekend. And because on weekends, you know, our roles, Tracy's role and my role kind of switch on the weekends, because during the week I'm going to work and she's taking care of the house, and she's, you know, making sure that we have something ready for dinner, and you know, all those things. But on the weekends, I'm the one that's doing most of the cooking. I'll make breakfast, I'll make dinner, and lunch is usually catch as catch can. But I wasn't good for any of that stuff. So she was making me breakfast. She was bringing me, you know, cups of coffee, hot coffee, and bringing it to me, not just saying, you know, come up and get your stuff, lazy slug on a rug. You know, she'd bring it to me, and I would like rouse myself long enough to go upstairs and get another cup of the delicious orange rind and honey. And it was you know, that was my whole weekend. It was drinking cups of orange rind and honey, delicious orange rind and honey, and waiting for Tracy to feed me and sleeping. I slept a lot. And in the meantime, you know, I mean, I took aspirin, NyQuil at night. And because I don't get sick that often. It's very, very rare that I get sick, which means that when I do get sick, I'm such a baby when I get sick. I really am. It's pathetic how useless I become. So Tracy's taking care of me, and when I wasn't asleep, I'm basically just sitting in front of the computer watching like YouTube videos, because I'd already finished all of the audios and videos that I needed to do, and watching some NCAA basketball. There's not really any teams that I'm following this year. The one team I had any interest in, and that was only because a coworker went there, was the Richmond Spiders, and they got beat. So it's like, okay, if it's a good game, I'll sit there and watch it until I fall asleep. I never saw the end of any of the games. Whatever game I was watching, I would fall asleep, and I'd wake up and someone else would be playing. So it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So, but the games that I've been watching, excuse me, the teams have been very competitive, and there's been quite a lot of upsets. I imagine that people's brackets are just like falling to pieces the entire time, because the number of double numbered seeded teams that are beating single seeded teams is like crazy. But I guess the whole point of what I was talking about was about how sick I was. And I'm still sniffling, and I'm still coughing, but physically I feel great. And the weird part was, even though I hardly moved, somehow I managed to lose about 5 pounds. I don't know how, I don't think I was really eating any less, and I certainly wasn't because I was like working out. No, I was just laying there like a big slug. So here we go. I'm gonna get going. So that was basically my adventures this weekend of being really, really sick and not doing much of anything and still managing to lose somehow 5 pounds. And the wonderfulness of orange rind and honey. And it's called, this stuff is called, let me think here. It's honey and citron or citron. It's a Korean, it's some kind of Korean thing. Honey and citron. And when I looked it up on Amazon, I could find it from the same company, but it was honey, citron, and ginger, which I'm sure is also very good. But I was looking for that specific type, the honey and citron, and I couldn't find it from that company. So now I have to look even harder. I'm going to find more of that stuff. And I highly, highly recommend, and it does not look like anything that you would enjoy. You have to spoon it out, literally. It looks like orange marmalade. You spoon it out, you put it in a cup, you pour in like boiling hot water, and then you stir it like crazy. And it smells good, it tastes good, and it really, really hit the spot. It was like my favorite part of the day when I would get another cup of that stuff and just start to drink it down. And take the spoon with you, because it will start to solidify at the bottom of the cup again. So take a sip or two and then stir it again and take another sip. And when you get to the bottom, you know, there's some residue down there at the bottom, and I always just kind of use the spoon and eat that too, because, you know, why not? It's the same stuff that you've been drinking. And it's so good. Orange and honey. It's honey and citron. Citron. And it's super delicious. I highly recommend it. And if we had done a podcast this weekend, that would have been my pick. Would have been that stuff. It was, oh God, I gotta find more of it, because I probably went through about half that jar over the weekend, and it's a big jar. And I guess if you wanted to, you could spread it on toast, because it looks like orange marmalade. Anyway, that is going to do it for today. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me on Guy's Daily Drive. If you want to get a hold of me, you can get me on the Twitters. I am Mac Parrot and Vert Shark over there on the Twitters. My email address is guy@mymac.com or podcast@vertshark.com. Vertshark.com is the website that you can go to see all of the odds and all of the vids. And if all you want to see are the vids, go on over to YouTube, look up Vert Shark, the channel will appear. The channel will appear, and when you do, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Come on, I need more subscribers. It helps somehow. I don't really know how. None of it is monetized, so I'm not making any money off of it. Speaking of money, if you would like to contribute, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/MacParrot, coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or PayPal at PayPal.me/MacParrot. I knew I was going to forget something. I imagine there's other stuff too, but I'm just grateful that you were here to join me today on Guy's Daily Drive, and that I'm alive after the weekend of illness. And I feel so much better. I really, really do. Thank you all so very much for joining me on my journey of weirdness. And we will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.